Shani, and welcome to Zoom Happy Space. I'll be chatting with the very sassy, extremely talented, and I'm sure you all love her. I'm, of course, talking about the beautiful Kajol. Thank you for dropping some sass today, which I'm sure you will in Zoom Happy Space.
Always with bells on.
Wait, let me start by asking you, what's your happy space?
My happy space is most of the times in my head with a cup of coffee in my hand. So, yeah, that's my happy space. And I take it everywhere with me. I take the weather with me wherever I go and my happy space.
We were just talking about the pandemic. How have you sort of kept yourself, out there, motivated?
I don't know whether I've kept myself motivated or not, honestly. I think it's been a very tough time because I think it's one of those times where everybody kind of has to spend too much time with themselves. I don't know whether everybody likes themselves so much that we get to spend too much time with somebody that we don't know very well, which is ourselves. So yeah, I'm trying very hard to I like myself, but maybe not to that extent. A little more company would be nice.
I'm sure family helped, no?
Uh, yeah, helped me 5 months back in Bombay. Not now. I'm in Singapore now.
You're dropping a film,
Yes.
Vibhanga, and I think that's going to be added to a lot of
At the
people's
right time. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
going to be
At the
added
right
to.
time. Yes. Thank God.
I got to saw a little bit of it, and I want to say that, of course, it is about complex relationships, mother and daughter, about the three different generations, but it's also a lot to do with taking that patriarchy down in subtle ways. Tell me, is that one interesting aspect that why you sort of very organically chose Tribhanga?
Yes, that was definitely one of the aspects of it. The second one was that I found that I liked the idea of three women together. I liked the idea of having this generational relationship put together, and all the differences that you have, which are generational and personality wise. I read a beautiful line that says that your mother is your first friend, your first love, and your first enemy. And that really hit me because it's true in 100 different ways, because she's the first person who disciplines you and you hate her for it. She's the first person who holds your hand and you love her for it. And she's the first person who will talk to you and make you feel like everything is going to be okay, and she's your first friend. And it's all, that's really what Tribhanga is about. It's about how somebody who you love so very much can be somebody who you hate so very much. And that's really the relationship of, and relationships are complex. They're never black and white. They're never a straight line. It's always up, down, all over the place, in a circle. And but at the same time, at the end of the day, she is your mother, you are her daughter. You do have a daughter, you are a mother, and you have to resolve it. You don't have a choice in the matter.
We talk about mother-daughter relationships, and I always remember there's one dialogue that mothers always pass down or say to the daughter, saying, "You will understand once you're a mother."
When you have a daughter. Yes. And one curse also we pass down, by the way. We always tell our daughters that I hope you have a daughter exactly like you.
That's
So
true.
yeah, that's one thing that, yes. Yes, we have. Absolutely. My mother has said it to me. I've said it to my daughter as well. But yes, I totally agree with that. I don't think you can understand how much your mother loves you, or what all she did for you. You will not understand her sacrifice. You will not understand. You will just not understand how much she has just given up, in how much of her identity she gave up to be your mother, till you become a mother and you realize that, oh my god, this was everything that she gave up to be me, to be just my mom. So yes, I realized that when I had my baby, and I remember calling up my mom and I remember telling her that, mom, I get it. I get how much you love. Today I understand how much you love me. Today I understand, everything that you did for me. I always used to think that I always knew she loved me. I always knew she gave up a lot to be my mother. I always knew that, there were things that my mother was fabulous, fantastic, all that. But I never understood the depth of how much she loved me till I had a baby of my own.
Yeah. And so technically that saying is kind of true. So that is why it's repeatedly used.
Yes.
Um, but then when you do a film like this, of course, the story is relatable in ways that can be cathartic at times, right? Um, so when you do
Yeah,
such stories,
definitely.
right? So when you do such stories, Kajol, tell me, do you think about your own personal equation that you have, or if there's something going on in your life at that time with your daughter, with your mother,
Two
and
ways
does that
about it.
always?
When you do films like this, definitely no two ways about it. There are so many parts in the film where you talk about where when I'm you're talking about rebellion, and you're talking about you're talking about just feeling something like so intense. And I get it, because I get it. And suddenly you look at your own life and you understand. I'm looking at Anu, and I'm like, I think Nissa must have felt like this at some point in time, or she may feel like this if I don't play it right, or if I don't handle it correctly. So yeah, so there are lots of times in films which actually reflect back to your own, not only Tribhanga, but I would say in films generally. I remember when I was shooting for Bazigar at and it was one of my first films. Bazigar was really like what it was, I think, the second film that I worked on or something like that. It was really like, literally, I was seriously like a serious newcomer. Like, and I remember standing on the sets, and I remember Abbas Bhai and Nussan Bhai telling me that, now Shilpa's going to fall from there and you have to cry, like as though you have actually lost a sister. And I was like, Abbas bhai, I don't think that I'm that good an actor. मैं नहीं कर सकूंगी, मैं ऐसा नहीं कर सकूंगी, मेरे से तो होगा ही नहीं. तो अब्बास भाई बोले, नहीं नहीं, तुम तो बहुत अच्छी हो, तुम तो मैनेज कर लोगी. ऐसे तुम मेरे को बताओ क्या करना है, यू हैव टू टेल मी ना व्हाट टू डू. नहीं नहीं, तुम मैनेज कर लोगी, हमको बताने की जरूरत नहीं है, आप तो मतलब ये हो, आप तो. He was happily praising me to high heavens, and I was like, I had no clue as to what or how I would react if I actually saw, my sister over there. And I remember at that point of time when I did that shot, it was just, I was overwhelmed. I mean, it came out very naturally and it was a great shot. And at the end of it, everybody clapped for me and all that. And I was like taking a bow. But while I was doing it, I was wrecked. I was like, I was a complete emotional wreck at that point of time. And I was just like shaking, and I was just like, oh my God, I never want to go through this in my life. Ever, ever, ever. So it's a horrible, horrible feeling. But yes, doing a film, I feel in a lot of ways, I always say that everybody should do one film in their life, because it is such a cathartic experience to stand in front of 100 people and just feel and show what you're feeling in front of 100 people, and not worry about who's going to take it in the wrong way, and just be open and honest. And yeah, so it is definitely cathartic.
I was talking about,
and scary.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah. We're talking about bringing down the patriarchy. You, in your own ways, have fought this battle against patriarchy that a lot of women continue to do. Tell me a few moments in your life, are lessons that you'd like to pass on to your daughter.
I don't need to pass on any lessons to my daughter in self-respect. Thank you very much. She has more than enough of it. And she has really more than enough of it. And she is, trust me, ready to take down patriarchy so single-handedly all by herself. So there's nothing that I really need to tell her or teach her. But I will say this, and I really hope that women all over understand that taking down patriarchy does not mean standing up and screaming, and it means standing up for yourself and believing in yourself. It is about women believing in women. It's women believing in themselves and having the courage to take that step forward, to realize that even if a man does well in a man's world, he's doing well because he stood up and asked for it. And a woman doing well in a man's world also has to stand up and ask for it. You can't take it for granted that, you can't, for one, you can't be like hysterical about it. You have to just stand up and state your case and be very, very firm about it and stand up, and you have to respect yourself. If you don't respect yourself, nobody's going to respect you. That to me is feminism.
If you were on a dating app, what would you ever keep your bio as? What would it be?
If I were on a dating app, I would say idiots need not apply. however good looking.
The second segment is a bunch of fun questions. Are you ready? I'm sure you are.
I'm never ready for rapid fire, but go ahead. I'll give it my best shot.
Not really rapid though, but listen, I know you're very good at it, but this is not rapid. All right, here we go. A nickname that was kind of embarrassing or really funny now?
A nickname that was embarrassing. I had all my nicknames were embarrassing. They were
Which
all
one?
embarrassing and they were all funny. But I think the one that stayed in my mind is what my mother used to call me. She used to call me Gajar. She used to call me Gajar because I was a red baby and my name was Kajol. So it kind of meshed. So my mom and everybody like who used to be, like when I used to be introduced, oh, this is Kajol. It says Gajar. She looks like a Gajar. She looks like a carrot. So I used to actually like my cheeks were so red and so fat when I was a baby. So she used to actually call me Gajar. So yeah, I had that also. I went through that Gajar phase. Yes.
I think Gajar face is cute.
Now I believe it. At that time, I was highly mortified. I must have been about 3 months old.
Any annoying qualities that Ajay or the kids or somebody else pointed out that you have? Because you stayed with them in the lockdown for a while.
Oh, I think that they wanted to kill me at one point in time. They really, first of all, so, A for one, so as we know, I mean, I have no problems with volume at all. So, when I speak at this volume all the time, 24/7, I can understand. I would get irritated with myself as well. So, I mean, it's, they didn't have to point that out to me, really. I was pointing it out to myself every day. Shut up!
If you could voluntarily choose a person from the Indian film industry to be in the quarantine with, who would that be and why? The criteria being the person has to be entertaining.
Person has to be, I don't know anybody who's mute and dumb. I really don't know anybody like that. So it would have to be somebody who's a mute, who will not speak and will stand in the corner. Maybe my side table. My side table, for sure. That's the person that I want to be with during this quarantine. My side table to hold my coffee and hold my laptop charger on. Yeah. That's the only person whom I'll be comfortable with in this quarantine.
This will never happen, but since we are doing hypotheticals, why not? If you were on a dating app, what would you ever keep your bio as? What would it be?
If I were on a dating app, I would say idiots need not apply, however good looking.
That's important. Ladies, we've learned a lesson today. Here. Okay. That's what is.
I think it plays a huge part. I mean, who wants to? I mean, like, good looks are fine, but after a point, they're going to open their mouth at some point, aren't they? I mean, something is going to come out of it, right? I mean, however good looking the person may be, after a point, as soon as they open their mouth and you're like, no way, next, thank you, next.
If you had to really sort of critically appraise or critically look at your performance in Tribhanga, would you say it was one of your favorites, or which one would it be?
I think if I had to critically look at it, there are parts that I could have done better. I'll wait for you to see the film and then tell me. But there are parts that I could have done better. There are parts that I don't think that I can do better. But overall, I would say it's a decent performance. Decent.
Very modest.
High praise coming from me, trust me. Very few. It's not modest, honestly. It's really not. It's like, you know what you're capable of. You know what you can do, what you can't do. And so I think it's the most honest appraisal of my performance that I can give.
So I'll make it easier for you. If you had to pick your one film that you thought was, I would give myself a 9 on 10, which film would that be? This is something that I'm proud of. Very, very. Let me make
None. None.
Every time you see a film, you always feel like...
No performance has reached 9 on 10. Now that's pushing it. Really, like pushing it. 6 पे पहुंच सकते हैं, 7 पे पहुंच सकते हैं. I think 7 is the maximum. That 6 and 7 is like the maximum that I have reached so far. I have not reached 9 and 10. It's pushing it now. I have to reach 9 and 10. Aage, touch wood, I'll have another performance that will reach 9 and 10. This picture actually we took in the middle of the promotions. And I remember thinking to myself, I was like, what are we going to say? I think Ajay and me don't have, what are we going to say about it?
I think a relationship is only as strong as you make it. And it's something that you have to work on every day, each and every day. And I'm grateful that I have a partner who wants to work on it with me every day.
Here's my last segment. A bunch of fun pictures that I have picked out from your Instagram, Kajal. Are you ready? You have to tell me the story behind the pictures.
Oh God, okay. I'll try. Can I lie to make it more interesting?
But you can never lie.
That's true. I only lie on camera. Go ahead.
That's why Okay, here we go. Talking about 3 generations, talking about amazing women. Here it goes.
Oh, this was for the Durga Puja. This was on the second day of the Durga Puja, where we had, on the first day of the Durga Puja, actually, before the Durga Puja actually officially started and all the crowds came in at that point of time. And my mother looks like a dawn over there, no? She's got her dark glasses on. She looks like she's part of the mafia or something like that. And we look like her 2 sidekicks, Tanisha and me look like her 2 sidekicks. But yeah, my mom is a dawn. My mom is like my rock star. And she walks also like a rock star, talks like a rock star. And Titch and me are her 2 sidekicks. We are the 2 sidekicks. We stand over there and give her background for it.
This is one of the favorite stories that I read. I think, of course, everybody knows you had a very real romantic story, but this really is one of my favorite pictures because of that. I'm sure you remember this, the story that you gave to officials.
Official humans of Bombay, yes.
Yeah.
This picture actually we took in the middle of the promotions. And I remember thinking to myself, I was like, what are we going to say? I think Ajay and me don't have, what are we going to say about it? I was like, are you sure this is going to turn out to be interesting?
We shot it at a time when we were really spending a lot of time with each other because we were doing promotions, and we were most irritated with each other because he was taking coffee somewhere else and I was taking coffee somewhere else. I was like, I cannot sit and spend more time with you anymore now. There's too much, and we're talking also all the time to each other, for each other. It was just too much. But so I was like, what is there in our love story that is so fantastic and that nobody knows about? I mean, everybody already knows everything. What are we going to tell anybody about whatever? So that was one thing that I was not very sure. So we did like something like a 1.5 interview, which they made into like 1 paragraph after that. I think a relationship is only as strong as you make it. And it's something that you have to work on every day, each and every day. And I'm grateful that I have a partner who wants to work on it with me every day rather than, giving up on it. Neither of us have given up so far. We're still wanting to work on it. And I think we are both lucky in that respect.
Okay.
Oh, yes. This is in Bulgaria. We were in Bulgaria and it was so cold. And this was the day actually that we came up. And we came up to the top of we were shooting on the top of the mountain, and we came up via those lifts, and we came up and we had lunch over there and we went back down. And that was the day that Ajay actually fell down and fainted because it became really cloudy after that, and he was shooting on the top, and I don't know what happened, and it was so cold that he almost like got hypothermia. In fact, that was the day that he fell down. It was a day I will never forget that day. Really, it was this thing, and we immediately, I mean, of course, we couldn't go back up there, but then he came back, and the doctor was there and all that. So it was really a scary day that day. Yeah, happy time for the picture though.
Yeah. Well, you say, Nessa says, why do I have to do this? You say me because Ajay says what's going on, and Yuke says, where's my burger? That sums up your family.
Pretty much. All of us are speaking over each other and we all understand what the other person is saying, pretty much.
From one family drama to another, Tribhanga looks very, very interesting. Thank you so much for doing this, Kajol. And, you always keep inspiring us.
Oh, yes, Rudrani, thank you so much for having me here. And AirPods or no AirPods, you will always be able to hear me. Thank you.
Thank you. Lots of love. Take very good care of yourself. Thank you so much.